Hello ladies and gentlemen, once again I ended up opening up the web coding window by mistake, and now we're about to dive into our match between Vex and Dignitas. It's going to be an amazing set to get through, but to be perfectly honest, we're still waiting for something to get started here. Of course, they're just playing with the camera angles a little bit more, and here we are with the map loading intro. We're about to dive straight into the knife round, I imagine. Don't you guys get unexcited. We need you as excited as humanly possible. And just a moment while I shave my mustache. Alright, so there we go. Problem taken care of, and that's Team Dignitas coming out on top with the right to choose which side they spawn on. Here we are. Okay, so all things considered, the position of Dignitas right now, I think they're meditating just a little bit on it. I can only hear in-game sound. They actually haven't shown us whether they're going for that or not. That swap, I mean to say, rather. And they're just screwing around some more in between. All right, not just before they have enough time to decide which side they're going on. Calm and steadfast, they are staying for the time being. Oh boy, are they actually gonna go through with this now? Okay, countdown has begun. So whichever side we actually saw Dignitas going with, it's going to be the side, and that's that. Sometimes I feel a little bit irked by what is going on with ESL in the background, but we're about to get started with our first match between Vexed Gaming and Team Dignitas. This is actually my first time seeing Vexed Gaming play. I did just see Team Dignitas pull off a super clutch comeback versus G-Bots earlier, if I'm recalling their name correctly. But pretty heavy stack right now coming out for bomb site B. Nothing guaranteed to actually go through there. It could be just, the T is going to perhaps play for underground. I do see them going towards that passage right now on the minimap. MSL actually creeping up mid just a little bit and towards T ladder room. And what I mean by T ladder room is, of course, the one that leads into apartments. He's going in through spawn now, and he realizes he's kind of gotten through that area. But is it underground too? Oh my goodness, that's the bomb dropped right there with the opening frag from MSL. KRB just not missing his opening headshot. Gonna get a second one to his name as well. And Rubino firing through smoke with the majority of that one clip, and looks like we might have a refrag coming in here from Hyper. But he's waiting for it. He's looking for it. He couldn't find it. 1 HP, and we still have Tensky alive, excuse me. Rubino catches gaming. I'm sorry, who is that turning the corner? I do apologize, as this is my first time seeing many of the names of these players that you are watching right now. That is to say, rather, for Vex Gaming, this is my first time seeing their names. Handsome fella doesn't mind getting up close and personal with a camera, or letting a camera get up close and personal with him. But this is the way it pans out for the time being. Furion and Repo, Hyper, Grubby, whatever have you, and Rowland Hulk. Okay, so these are names that I'm going to have to remember, and that's going to be Rubino opening up on with a double frag for Furlan as well as Repo. They're out of this game completely, and it's going to be, looks like KRB getting one on his own. MSL getting refragged, and that's going to be Rubino taking down Hyper. It's now going to do a battle of who's going to win the fight, really, or battle of who's going to win that duel, and that was kind of a little bit redundant, but I think we just saw Dignitas take that round with only a single loss to their name. Really not too terribly bad. Even if it was 2 losses, it wasn't, absolutely cringeworthy bad or anything else of that nature. If this is your first time tuning into the YouTube channel of Mixbot.tv, we're basically cranking out the same stuff that ESL does, but we're trying to do it with a lot less fluff in between. I'm sure you guys have been watching these ESL major events, and you're just wondering to yourself, well, what on earth is taking these guys so long? And anything else in between. Just like, you guys want to see the matches? Great. You're going to see the VODs, and you're going to see them faster. You're not going to have to watch 20 minutes or go looking for the actual beginning time in the game. But enough about that, as we're about to dive into what could be a complete... Yeah, it's a complete rush coming in now, and that's going to be KRB getting an opening frag. He's looking for a second. He's just got to find the head. He's going to find one, and that's going to be a triple in between. We see Rubino getting one, and then another for a double, and that's going to mean Rallenhoek falling, and that's 5-0. This is a round where basically Dignitas turned it, or not Dignitas, Dignitas, but Dignitas, rather, turned it into a full-blown bank builder. Like, we're talking, you know, even though those are all M4 kills, that's $1,500 to their bank plus $3,250 for the elimination, win by elimination, and they lose nothing for it, except for perhaps a couple of flashbangs, a couple of utilities that they have to rebuy. But Vexed Gaming on the first rifle round, looking like not so hot on the start, and that's going to be MSO getting the opening frag. It's made up for now with a refrag here by Grubby. He's got to be careful of watching for rotations from Connector, but it looks like for the time being there won't be anyone coming from that direction just yet. The CT's Team Dignitas are going to be leaving one guy at bomb site A while we're going to see Repo in a kind of an awkward position. He can hear the jumping at what is perceived to be B short, so they at least know where one of their enemies are for the time being. They don't know where the other one at B short presumably would be. Rallenhoek really waiting for kind of a misplay coming from the CT side. They've got 4 versus 4 doable, difficult, and they've got an AWP on hand. It's just that it's kind of difficult going into the entry for that, but they've already tossed in all their utilities ready to go, and that is a delayed pop flash config. Now going to be falling back into B short, secondary defensive position based on that location. It's going to be Repo making the opening frag going into B. That is to say, making the planter, if you will, the planter frag, getting the guy out of sight. Rallenhoek getting, I think that's Rubino in Marketplace, and now we're going to be seeing config in a very awkward-ish position, but Rallenhoek says, hey, I got an op, you can't stop me. KRB now, last one at mid. He's going to be trying to win out this duel, but he's unable to do it. And now this looks like a complete turnaround, almost nearly complete turnaround. Not a massacre, I guess you could say, but certainly very strong play coming out from Vex. And that's going to essentially kind of cut their economy. And it looks like there's some kind of a localized TeamSpeak issue coming up on... excuse me, coming up on one of the players' computers. One of the computer's players, geez. Well, I guess you could say it that way, perhaps. But ultimately, it's not something that's going to shut down this game. It did call for a brief pause, but I think that's about it. Diving back into this momentarily, and we've got Vex. Just, I mean, that is one hell of a good luck charm. That is that a Charizard? Is that a Charizard or is it just a red dragon? Is it the team mascot? I can't really tell. But altogether, I mean, definitely very, very strong display of nerves thus far. Able to bring things back in their first rifle round. I thought maybe in the pistol round, maybe after the way we saw them taking the pistol round, we could have seen them doomed. Maybe it was, maybe they were having nerve issues going up against them. They said, okay, we're going up against the team that has had amazing StarCraft team, amazing League of Legends team, amazing Smite team, everything you can think of they've been involved in, and here we are, you know, just a lone CSGO team, very little in the way of experience. Not just, I mean, like, I know obviously we're talking about all these being different games, and it kind of sounds dumb for me to mention them on air, but at the same time, the same concept exists. You're talking about coaching, grinding, playing on the stage, and that's something that Dignitas is one of those teams that would not pick up a bunch of new guys off the streets that have never played before. Maybe, being in esports for 4 years myself, I could probably tell you that they would probably take one guy off the streets who's never played on a stage before, for fear of, you know, maybe nerve issues and him breaking down and such, but pause has not been unpaused yet, and this leads me to believe that there might be some kind of a localized hardware issue that is being faced on one of the teams or one of the players of the teams or something of that nature. So with that being said, we look like we're about to dive right back in the game. Yeah, everyone's back. Everyone's back. And I would love to see the economic situation right now from both sides. But again, there they are. Just they're showing us. Geez, I only got a mere peek at it, but there it is. Okay, so there we are. With the tab, we can see the scoreboard showing up. And with that, the economic situation that Dignitas is in. So right now, ouch. Nice start. Opening headshot, sick. Absolutely abysmal by MSL. Looking for a follow-up. A secondary headshot to, not really a headshot, but, you know, a secondary frag over in apartments. But he can't really deal with all of that. By the way, if this is your first time watching this YouTube video or first time visiting the channel, perhaps consider subscribing. And leave some comments in the feed, or leave some feedback in the comments below. Let me know what I can do to improve my casting. Really. I know I'm not Anders, I know I'm not Semlar, but I'm also not I'm not a global elite either, so really, there's nothing else I can do. At least in terms of game knowledge, unless we're talking about just hours and hours and hours of researching just general stuff that players need to know, like, you know, smokes and such. But hold that thought, is we got a definitive move onto bomb site B. That was a shot for Config's head. Did miss. MSL gets a second shot. Is he trying to gear himself up for the ace? I wonder. That's going to be actually gaming. That's going to be Grubby coming back, getting the refrag. Config getting behind the wall, and Grubby's going to take him down too. It's now all of a sudden it was once 3v5. Now it is 3 versus 2 at bomb site B. We've got Hyper shutting down the re-entry, and I feel like that was a little bit poorly timed from Rubino, excuse me, rather. And now we're going to be seeing Tensky perhaps try and salvage his weapon. At this point, yeah, I mean, it's the safest decision he can make. I think that's some kind of a taunt coming in through one of our Vexed players. He's like, you know, just looking over him, pointing fingers. It could have been the bird, who knows. But 3-1, looking like it's gonna go to 3-2, and Tensky looking for that exit frag. Guess what? Hyper, he's going into the ladder room. He's actually gonna push out onto this. It reveals his weapon model, and with that, Tensky's able to get the frag off of that. Pops down in the mid, and just looks like no one else wants to take any risks at B short. That was it. Like the opening headshot there, the secondary one as well. It was actually 3 versus 5 with the way MSL opened up and played things. But I mean, they had that amazing aim from, I think it was Repo? No. I think it was Grubby. It was Grubby with the double entry frag, but tough exchange just now. And it looks like Tensky says, "All right, I'm 12 HP. You guys should take that M4. It's no good on me." And 1 for 1 already. Rubino getting a refrag, and that's going to be Grubby bringing things back to 3 versus 3. Are we going to have an entry refrag, or are we going to be seeing Dignitas laying off on B? But Kirby in the background, he does manage to salvage one of the AK-47s. Really, what's critical here is making sure he's not hit while shooting. If he shoots at the same time that he gets hit in the chest or in the stomach or something like that, then his aim is going to be thrown way off. He's not going to be able to hit what he originally aimed for, even if it was a headshot. A little bit unfortunate. Sad, unfortunate truth, but it's alright. There we go. Hyper now coming through. Gonna be hanging out over there, and it looks like Grubby, and we're gonna be seeing Rowland Hulk making a play. That's a clever play, really cheeky, but it looks like it's gonna work out because that's actually them kind of faking out a move for B and instead going for the plant at A. But once they realize the bomb is no longer at B, they're all going to head straight for A. So kind of a misplay, and it looks like this is where it's working to the disadvantage of the terrorists. A little bit dangerous coming out from Vexed Gaming, but it looks like we got, wow, Hyper in the right place at the right time to get a flank, and now it's Kirby in a very awkward position. He's got the AK-47. He's all alone. What on earth? He does manage to find the head of I'm sorry, Vexed Gaming's Grubby, and now he's stuck in a 1 versus 1. And he doesn't have a kit, so it looks like he's just going to try and salvage the AWP and get away with his livelihood. All right, so that being said, the angle was planted for. We do see that Hyper is just trying to get out of there, but will he find a chance for a refrag or an exit frag? No. And he will not be exit fragged himself. That was actually a little bit close. Too close for comfort for our CT side. Wink at the camera is like, I'm the handsome nerd. That's right. That's right. There's 5 of us here, but there's none sexier than I. All right. So Furlan now coming through. Trying to, I think, lead things back in Caribbean. He's waiting for anyone to pop out into the wrong direction. Rubino also ready to enter through connector. Gets an opening frag onto our balcony. Tries to get an opening frag, but instead is immediately refragged by Hyper. It's going to be MSL and Caribbean getting 2 out of that exchange. And Rowland Hulk just, I think he managed to hit that through the cracks. He knew there was someone at ticket booth, but I think it was complete blind fire there. I couldn't be 100% certain, but oh man, MSL just like, it's the freakiest of op shots I've ever seen. But now it's 1 versus 3, and now it's all on Repo to defend that bomb, keep it from getting defused. And blind shot, he says, oh great, now I'm gonna have to just skedaddle on out of here, save my weapon, and that is 1 versus 3 in favor of Dignitas getting the fuse there. And with that being said, that's going to bring things back to 4-3. So Dignitas taking a slight lead over this, but this is one of those dangerous moments in the game where they just realized, and that was a sick shot by the way, it wasn't even counted as a wall, even though it basically went through a wall. Kind of. Was but wasn't. Didn't penetrate a surface, but went straight through geometry. So, right, where was I? Vexed Gaming. Oh my god, MSL, hold that thought. Triple kill? No, just a little bit short of that. Furlan shuts him down. But a nice double kill on B short. And the question is the play being made for B? It's already, you know, have they come too far to quit that? I mean, we've already got 2 in sight. It's 3 versus 4 at this point, and Rowland Hulk, I think he's waiting for rotates. He's banking on his teammates to get those bomb planted, and then he's gonna try and get whoever's trying to get them. A little bit confusing, I know, but he's trying to take down anyone who might be going through there when they rotate for the defuse. But now, I mean, it's just him against the world, and he was found in mid, and that's just, you know, God. I'm not gonna say an awful decision. No, it couldn't be that. He had his own reasons for being there, but I think this is gonna put the terrorist side onto Eco now after 2 full buys in a row, indeed. And that's a straight up hard Eco. This is one that is not meant to win anything, but they're gonna have 1 flashbang to work with, and I wish we could take things over to Vexed TV for the time being, but looks like it's not gonna happen just yet. All right. So Furion already tosses out now 1. I'm sorry. No, that he's waiting for that opportunity to toss out the flash, and this is again. They're just not pushing at all. I think they're waiting off of something, but like maybe an entry into Palace. They're trying their best not to make any noise whatsoever, and really, to be frank, at this point, it will be a difficult entry for the terrorists. There's the flash, and they're going through. They're pouring through. Rubino just spraying straight up through that. Gonna get 2 of them. That's gonna be Caribbean. Rubino getting a 3rd kill with the USP, and that's gonna be MSL just shutting it down with the final. It just, and like, they got shredded. Really, it's no other difficult way to say that. There it is. Here's the replay. Rubino's gonna get 2 with his AK. Of course, gets a whole hell of a lot more damage done with that. Gets a 3rd with the USP, and then the others are just cleaned up basically. I mean, that was basically a YOLO swag play coming out from Vexed. They only had 1 flashbang grenade to work with, And Rowland Hulk right now, I mean, off the back of that loss, he's forced to buy an AWP without any armor to go with it. He does have a smoke grenade, however, so that kind of makes up in some merits. But here we are. That's it. Hyper and Furion making the opening frags of this round. It looks like this could actually be one of those rounds where they turn the tempo in their favor. But that last one was definitely a big bank builder for Dignitas. So I think they should be able to afford at least one more full buy after this round if they are taken down. It's not over yet. It's 3 versus 5, and we've seen 3 versus 5s where Team Dignitas had lost the round to Vexed Gaming. So why is the converse not applicable in this situation? There we go. Top flash tossed in, but unfortunately it's Furion, and ouch, like this is Vexed Gaming building their bank this round. They're looking at their opponents on the other side of the arena, and they're just like, yeah, what's up? Can you believe it? I mean, just kind of, I'm in some ways a little bit lost for words there. Analytical perspective, what had happened? Well, I think we're gonna find out. I gotta pay better attention to this because I don't actually have an observer position. I'm used to too much information being fed to me. So, Dignitas on full buy this round, and they are cutting corners to make sure they have M4s in hand. No FAMASs whatsoever. No FAMAS full armor and flashbangs or anything like that. So in this regard, they're actually skipping out on utilities quite a bit. Dignitas's MSL just going to be chilling at B short. And it looks like we're going to see Grubby tossing a Molotov straight into Sniper's Nest. MSL waiting for a pop. Oh my god, did he hit? Did he hit? I think he hit Rowland Hulk with that, but it went through 2 feet of concrete, so therefore the damage done was quite minimal. MSL is going to find Furion with that AWP. He's now looking for perhaps a second or third target to hit with it, but it's just a little bit difficult at this point, to say the least. Vexed Gaming, realizing their situation, realizing there's an Opera at B short, are just like, yeah, going through connector is not a good idea right now. So redirecting position to A. They know where, they know exactly where MSL is, and they're gonna try and play off of that. Indeed, we got Hyper just getting in there with the slow rotate. KRB does spot someone, but he chooses to just restrain for a little bit. Gets a double kill off the back of that. I'm just a little bit. I don't see. That should not have happened with Rowland Hulk just now. He should have just put the weapon or put the bomb away and switched to his M4, but he was taken down immediately, and now it's 3 versus 0. Three CTs remaining at the end of the round, and no T's left. But if I'm not mistaken, with 3250 from a full 5-man win and then a 1400 no bomb plant, that's gonna make barely enough for a full buy for Vexed Gaming, if I'm not mistaken. No, did I misread this? I guess they probably got greedy with the last round. I'm trying to just figure out why they didn't have enough money for a full buy. But it's kind of a quasi buy right now. Ouch. And that's MSL again playing the big bad AWP at apartments. It's going to be config, trying to duel against Rowland Hulk, and he's going to get intruded on just a little bit, but he's definitely going to win. Very clean one shot to the head of Rowland Hulk there. So nicely played by config. Tensky found Repo, and now it's all on Gribby. 4-0 right now at the end of that one round. And at this particular moment in time, I feel as though rounds are getting more and more critical for Vexed Gaming. This is certainly the point where it's going to become more and more difficult to break the economy of Dignitas. And I mean, it really depends on how many of their guys are left at the end of each round. Right now, I think this is them hitting threshold, but if they want to really have a much more solid shot at taking this, I would say, you know, regardless of pistol round at the beginning of the second half, I would definitely say they're going to need to win every round from here on out with this half. But here it is. Rubino throws in the pop flash. There's only 11 bullets left out of that M4. He's going to find one frag additionally with it, but not going to get another. And that's, I'm sorry, Grubby shutting down Rubino. That's MSL shutting down Grubby. Careby finds Rowland Hulk, and that's going to be Hyper coming up mid, taking down Tensky, but MSL, he stands above all. These rounds, yes, they're a bit costly to Dignitas, but they are not breaking the bank. And breaking the bank is what they need to do. That is to say Vexed in order to actually come out on top against Dignitas. Sooner or later. But Dignitas, again, just basically not losing every single round is what's giving them enough money to buy M4s, salvage AKs, AWPs, everything else in that nature. And they've just got an infinite amount of utility here. Vex Gaming just looking for that opening, really, and even that they can't seem to find. Furion, is he really going to venture through that smoke? No, he's lurking on one side of it. Here it is. It's going to be, was that a no scope? No. Hyper, 2 missed shots, and that's Hyper taking 1. It's going to be KRB trying to get a flank in here, and he's unable to take down a third target. That's actually him getting taken down by Grubby, and then Rubino taking down Grubby. It's now on Furion, who made a successful entry into bomb site B, but he doesn't have the bomb. So now it's 2 versus 2, but the weapons and HP advantage, definitely in favor of Team Dignitas right now, as Vex Gaming is struggling to find a weapon to fit in Repo's hand, as a majority of fallen CTs were all in bomb site A. Looks like Furion is about to come across someone in Sniper's Nest. He doesn't see Tensky's head. He saw it just now at the last moment, and Tensky jumps into mid. He's waiting for that entry. Pop flash tossed, and that's not going to stop Tensky. However, that isn't going to give Tansky the win in that duel, and that Furion, as well as his teammate, only have 20 seconds left to get into sight. It's all Rubino who's stuck in shadows. 19 seconds to go. They're waiting for it. There it is. He sees 1. He sees 2. He's just got to stop the plant, and it looks like he's not going to get that with a bullet. He just has to stay alive for 5 seconds, and he couldn't do that. Unfortunate, but very expensive win coming from Vex Gaming. As you can see, Team Dignitas can still afford a pretty solid buy this round. There it is. KRB, 1, 2, boom. Fast forward mode. Rubino, he waited there. He knew, he saw Repo. Just such a, I guess you could say, an elementary mistake in some ways, but both players missed the opening shots. Don't even clip each other, just complete flat out miss. Not frequently seen, but this is the last round of the first half. Both sides forced to buy out, and that's it. I mean, whoever takes this round is just going to be that much stronger going into the second half. Conversely, losing it will result in a much weaker start in the second half. MSL, he's waiting for the misstep. He's waiting for that misplay, but instead it's going to be him who's misplaying. He's taken down by Furlan almost immediately. Tensky, there he is. Just, he's waiting. But KRB, looks like he's actually being eaten alive right now. It will actually be Gruby who comes out on top in that duel. Just barely. 3 versus 5. And this is kind of where the tides begin to turn just a little bit in terms of who might win out the round. But Team Dignitas is not out of this yet. Can't count them out of it. This is the last round of the first half, and moves are going to have to be made. Rubino's getting a refrag onto Grubby as he enters into A main. And it looks like it's going to be a play for Apartments. As config, sees 2. He's going to open up on both of them. He's forced to switch to the pistol. Unfortunately, unable to get a second one. And that's going to be who in sight to get the refrag. But Rubino is the last man standing, and Raulenholt gets the 3rd and final frag of the round. I think he got a triple kill there. I can't be 100% certain. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude the first half of our match between Vexed and Dignitas. We're going to dive into the second half very shortly. Don't you guys go away.